Cameron Micah Boyce was born on May 28, 1999, in Los Angeles, California, into a family that carried history and resilience in its veins. His father, Victor Boyce, was of Afro-Caribbean descent, and his paternal grandmother, Joanne Boyce, was one of the Clinton 12, the courageous group of African-American students who desegregated public schools in Clinton, Tennessee in 1956. That legacy of courage, justice, and purpose would deeply shape the young boy who would go on to captivate the world. Cameron grew up in a household that encouraged creativity, empathy, and community involvement. His mother, Libby Boyce, worked as a social worker, and his parents supported both him and his younger sister Maya with warmth and discipline. From an early age, Cameron showed signs of extraordinary talent and charisma. He was full of energy, often dancing around the house, making his family laugh, and imitating television characters. By the time he turned 7, it was clear he had a natural flair for performance. His first foray into professional entertainment came through dance. He trained in multiple forms: hip-hop, jazz, modern, ballet, and breakdancing. He eventually joined a breakdancing crew called X-Mob, impressing instructors and peers alike with his fearless energy and sense of rhythm. But it wasn't long before acting followed. In 2008, Cameron landed his first acting role in the horror film Mirrors, followed by a supporting role in Eagle Eye starring Shia LaBeouf. His ability to hold his own alongside seasoned Hollywood actors marked him as someone to watch. Then came a major turning point. In 2010, at the age of 11, Cameron played Keithy Feeder, one of Adam Sandler's children, in the hit comedy Grown Ups. The film was a commercial success and introduced Cameron to a much wider audience. He reprised the role in the 2013 sequel, further showcasing his comedic timing and endearing personality. However, it was Disney Channel that would make Cameron Boyce a household name. He appeared in guest roles on Good Luck Charlie and Shake It Up before landing the lead role of Luke Ross in Jessie in 2011. Playing a witty, mischievous adopted child in a wealthy New York family, Cameron quickly became a fan favorite. The show ran for 4 seasons and allowed him to develop both his comedic chops and his dramatic skills. He built close relationships with his castmates, Debbie Ryan, Skay Jackson, Karen Brar, and Peyton List, and they formed a tight bond that extended well beyond the screen. As his career soared, Cameron remained grounded. He was known on set for his kindness, his humility, and his tireless work ethic. He treated everyone, from producers to janitors, with the same level of respect. His maturity stunned adults in the industry, and his sense of humor and charm made him beloved among fans. Unlike many young stars who were consumed by fame, Cameron remained focused on his craft and his values. In 2015, Cameron's life changed again when he was cast as Carlos DeVille, the son of Cruella DeVille, in Disney Channel's musical fantasy Descendants. The film followed the teenage children of iconic Disney villains who struggle to fit into a world of goodness. Carlos, portrayed as shy, awkward, and nerdy, became one of the most lovable characters in the franchise. Cameron's portrayal brought nuance to the role, blending vulnerability with wit and charm. He reprised the character in Descendants 2 and Descendants 3, each installment growing more popular than the last. Through the Descendants franchise, Cameron not only won awards and acclaim, but also connected deeply with a generation of fans. His dance numbers were among the most talked about, and his chemistry with co-stars like Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, and Boo Boo Stewart turned the cast into an on-screen family. The success of the films cemented Cameron's place as a rising star in Hollywood. But Cameron was more than a performer. He was a giver. From a young age, he had a strong sense of social responsibility. He often said that he wanted to use his platform to make the world a better place. He worked closely with the Thirst Project to bring clean water to underdeveloped countries, raising over $30,000 by his 16th birthday. He also became a key figure in the Wielding Peace campaign, a photography initiative advocating against gun violence, especially in schools. He spoke out on social justice issues, homelessness, and the importance of youth activism. His involvement in these causes wasn't performative. He donated time, money, and passion. He sat with kids in shelters, attended peaceful protests, and gave speeches about hope, resilience, and kindness. He once said, "What you leave should be bigger than you." That was his personal philosophy, one he embodied every single day. Despite his success, Cameron battled a private health condition, epilepsy. Diagnosed in his early teens, he had infrequent seizures and took medication to manage them. His family kept the diagnosis mostly private, believing the condition was under control. Cameron himself didn't want to be defined by it. He continued working, training, and dreaming without showing signs of limitation. On July 6, 2019, the world was shattered when news broke that Cameron Boyce had died in his sleep. He was only 20 years old. The cause was sudden, unexpected death in epilepsy, SUDEP, a condition few people had heard of. His death sent shockwaves across the globe. Tributes poured in from fans, fellow actors, directors, and musicians. Adam Sandler, Dove Cameron, Debbie Ryan, and many others posted emotional messages, recalling his brilliance and his heart. For those who knew him, the grief was profound. For fans, the loss was deeply personal. In the days following his passing, Cameron's family launched the Boyce Foundation. Its mission was to honor his legacy through philanthropy, spreading awareness about epilepsy and SUDEP, and continuing his work in humanitarian efforts. The foundation has since funded scholarships, created art programs for underserved communities, and partnered with researchers to study epilepsy-related deaths. Cameron's voice lives on through each life the foundation touches. Even after his death, Cameron continued to inspire. His final film, Runt, premiered in 2020. In the film, he played a high school student navigating bullying and violence in a broken system. The role showed a more mature, intense side of Cameron, a glimpse of the powerful, dramatic actor he could have become. Critics praised his performance, noting how he brought complexity and authenticity to a role far removed from his Disney roots. He also appeared posthumously in Paradise City, a series about rock and roll, temptation, and redemption. His performance was poignant, full of life and charisma. Watching him, viewers were reminded again of how much promise the world had lost. As of July 2025, 6 years after his death, the memory of Cameron Boyce is still very much alive. Each year, his Descendants co-stars post tributes, sharing unseen behind-the-scenes footage, photos, and stories that showcase his laughter, his dancing, and his heart. Fans continue to celebrate his birthday with fundraisers and dance tributes. Schools hold assemblies where students learn about SUDEP and epilepsy awareness. Artists create murals and digital tributes. On social media, his quotes circulate, reminders of his wisdom and compassion far beyond his years. But perhaps the most enduring legacy Cameron leaves is the way he made people feel. He reminded others to lead with love, to treat people with respect, to use their voice, however small it may feel. He taught others that talent is meaningless without kindness, that fame means little if it's not used for good. In a world often focused on image, Cameron focused on impact. His story is one of shining early, living passionately, and leaving a legacy that ripples out in quiet, powerful ways. He wasn't just a child actor or a dancer or a Disney star. He was a symbol of what happens when talent meets purpose. Though he only lived 2 decades, Cameron Boyce left behind more than most do in a lifetime. He once said, "We all go. What you leave should be bigger than you." In that sense, he succeeded beyond imagination. Cameron's life may have ended too soon, but his light continues to shine in art, in activism, in dance, in every act of kindness inspired by his memory. And as long as there are people who laugh because of his performances, dance because of his joy, or give because of his example, Cameron Boyce will never be gone. He is, as his friends have said, their angel, forever.